Hey, what's up? It's Skippy. How are you? I hope you're well. I'm sad. I'm very sad that I'm sad. But hey, listen. We're human beings. We get sad. We have emotions, unless you're a cold-hearted piece of crap. But oh crap! I completely forgot. I got more churros than I needed to. Whoops. Oh well. Forgot that the meal had churros already. But today is all about missing. Today, ooh, more chips. Nice. Today's all about missing. Today I went to the VA hospital. I have to get checked out. I'm getting some surgery done soon. I'm having a hip replacement because they say I need one, and you know what? With all this pain in my hip, I probably need one too. But I was there bright and early. Had to do a dental appointment because they had to check to see if I had any, like, infections in my mouth that could cause difficulty with healing. Because I'm going to be in recovery for a little while. Well, I'm getting my hip replaced. This is Chipotle. They were out of the green salsa. I will say it once. I'll say it a billion times. I don't like Chipotle. I don't like the restaurant. I don't like the flavor. It's just not right. It's like a burnt, smoky, like jalapeno. I just like regular. If I want a regular jalapeno, I eat a regular jalapeno. But they were out of avocado salsa. They didn't have. I was totally looking forward because I was telling the dentist. I was telling her that they had the best French toast on earth at the VA hospital. I tell everybody that I am the best PR for the French toast of the VA hospital, but it was sad. They were out of French toast today. Whatever. I got chicken strips and I fed squirrels, so. And also, I found out Instagram won't let me go live because I have less than 1,000 followers. Damn me, I'm just not popular. Not too long ago, I was doing my famous squirrel mukbangs. Where I would get at least like 6, 7 people watching, and it was great. I would have interactions with Nigerian scammers, like actively trying to scam me. While I was talking to them online. I mean, I was impressed. That's the internet. The great paradox. Keeping us closer together as we're further apart. But So yeah, there was no green salsa, no French toast. I was on Santa Monica Pier today. Very beautiful out. And then I came home. And I heard some horrible news, of which I first found out about it from a post from this gentleman on YouTube that I love and watch regularly. This guy named Seizure Robot. Seizure Robot was kind of like a he worked around with this guy. He worked with this character online, this what they call lol cows, LOL cow. He worked a lot like there was this gentleman by the name of Gothic King Cobra Jfs. Okay. And I I have an old best friend, his name's Jim Painter. I love Jim. I hadn't seen him in forever. I found out that he was lurking around. He was an old buddy of mine from the Comedy Store. We used to do comedy together. One of the funniest guys you've ever seen back in the day. He was incredible, but something bad happened. He had to quit comedy. Just sad. But the industry just sucks. The industry eats alive a lot of really talented people who just can't get a break. Not gonna say myself included, but whatever. I'm tired of wiping the asses of chicken. At least it fell on something plastic. But it was funny. I was at it was either Brody Stevens' like memorial or Mitzi Shore's memorial. I can't remember. They were both in 2018, which is when I started going back to the Comedy Store, ironically. Hadn't been back in 11 years. But Sebastian Maniscalco, the comedian, who I've known since like way long, he's a really, really fantastic guy. Amazing comic and genuinely nice human being. He comes up to me at one of the memorials. Shakes my hand because he's a gentleman. Sebastian Maniscalco is a gentleman, 100 billion%. Sebastian shakes my hand. And he asks me flat out, "Hey, do you know where Jim Painter? Do you know where Jim Painter is?" At the time, I didn't know, and then I found him, and I told Sebastian, and I was like, "Dude, you want me to call him for you?" And we had a call with Jim Painter, and it was pretty funny. But Jimmy, we all used to work at the Comedy Store, and there's a dinosaur comedian. Dinosaur's just a guy who's like really old and like just, you know, been doing it forever. But there's a dinosaur at the Comedy Store named Don Barris. And what's it called? Don Barris. The Kill Tony thing that Tony Hinchcliffe does, that was kind of what Don does in On Monday nights at the Comedy Store, he has a show called the Ding Dong Show, which was pretty much, it's like Kill Tony, before Kill Tony. Blatant ripoff. But neither here nor there. I wish Tony more success. He's my favorite arrogant little gay guy. I was just talking with a buddy of mine. My buddy Todd Hamilton, if you're familiar with hardcore music, he was in the old hardcore band Warzone back in the day. But we were out in Arizona doing a naughty show with a young Tony Hinchcliffe and myself, Tony, my buddy C, and Todd. We all went to the Heart Attack Grill in Chandler, Arizona. I have pictures of Tony looking really gay. But, whatever. But, whatever. Sebastian Jim Panner. Oh, look at that. That's the El Pollo Loco lid filter that I just got. Pretty cool, isn't it? But anyway, this guy Don Barris at the Comedy Store, he made one of the greatest movies on the face of the earth. It's on YouTube. It's called Windy City Heat. The entire movie is a prank on a complete and total mental patient named Perry Caravello, who's delusional, said he'll do anything to be a Hollywood star. So they built this movie around him to prank him. And it's spectacular. I remember back in the day when it was first getting made, we would run down to Don Barris's apartment and watch the dailies, and it was just the funniest shit ever. But my buddy Jim, went over to his place, hang out, smoke some weed. He turned me on to Perry Caravello Live, which is this guy, Perry Caravello, who's the star of Windy City Heat. He has his own live stream. The live streams are chaotically hysterical. This dude gets bent out of shape. I mean, faster than anyone I've ever seen in my life. And as someone like myself who's laid back, never, hardly ever gets angry, to watch him spaz out is absolutely entertaining. So, I started watching Perry Caravello Live. pretty much religiously, I still put on his live streams to go to bed. Don't ask me how it works. Having him stream in the background just makes me tired. I don't know how it works. But I love watching his live streams. I love watching his rage compilations. Every episode of Perry Caravello Live has the ability to be its own Windy City Heat. Like, some of the shit they get this guy to do, fascinating. But we'll talk about that some other time. So I want to talk about like I said, no French toast, no green salsa. One more no happened today. This was a doozy. It was so big it made me cry. Okay? I cried today. I admit it. I'm an adult with feelings. When you are empathetic, you are capable of putting yourself in other people's shoes and able to feel their pain. Excuse me. Unlike a lot of the unfeeling pricks in the world today. And I saw a video of this gentleman named Clint Saunders, who is King Cobra Jfs, this gentleman that I watched very much. I just got into him and just I fell into the rabbit hole on this kid. He's been online for over a decade, documenting his life. And what a journey it's been. But I cried today. I cried because I felt someone's pain. I felt Clint Saunders' pain. He was in this video today, and I found it. Like I said, I saw the seizure robot update saying that this had happened, and I wanted to make sure not speculate, because Seizure Robot had reported that Joshua King Cobra JFS had passed away. And it hurts. But I'm not a fan of celebrity culture. It's part of the reason why I gave up acting and all that other stuff in Hollywood. Because when I used to hang out with celebrities and stuff, no privacy, none. Your life, you're being chased You know, everybody wants a piece of you. Everybody knows your name, but you don't know anybody. So, I became a fan of Joshua King Cobra Jfs. And it was totally worth it. I'll tell you what. That dude was funny as fuck. There's some of the shit he would do and some of the shit he would say. He wanted to be a rock star. He had dreams of, winning the lottery, buying his clock tower dream house. He loved Ozzy Osbourne. He had Ozzy tattooed on his knuckles. And, he was a weirdo, and I like weirdos. I love weirdos. I'm a weirdo. I'm an awesome weirdo. That's why I love other weirdos. Unless you're creepy weird, then it's not cool. But he wasn't creepy weird. No, he was creepy weird. But he would, just a broken record. Just. Here's the thing of it, Slick. Josh was one of a kind. He was autistic, okay? He'd been bullied since he was a little kid. Even when he was doing these videos, the amount of harassment this dude got, as he called them, his YouTube trolls. But I want to go on record and say something right now. And say, Clint Saunders, you're a fantastic father. You did everything within the limits of your abilities to work with your autistic son who didn't want to work with you. Without you, Josh would have been homeless. No doubt. The same way that without Tom B on Perry Caravello Live, Perry would probably be homeless. I'm just happy that there's people out there who care enough to take care of other people. But I was so defeated today. When I saw Clint, Josh's father, in tears with the same backdrop from the interview that this one dude did. And my heart broke, man. My heart's broken already, but it shattered. I mean, I can only imagine. Josh was 33 years old. I can only imagine the amount of pain that Clint and his family is in right now. I wish I could give Clint a big hug. Just let him know, man. Thank you for your contribution. because Josh was just, just a unique individual. Like this, okay. This dude had an entire network of individuals around him, like Seizure Robot, that would take his material, his YouTube videos, his Facebook Lives, and all these other things, and turn them into works of art. Like, Josh's live streams would last hours and hours and hours. So then there would be these people like Lennon Lime, Boglum Chronicles, Bite Size Cobra Vids, who I love. I can't forget Walnut Grove. Oh my God. Walnut Grove. He's this guy. And he would make these mixes of Josh with music and videos. Completely unparalleled as to how incredible this person and his talents just shine through. The number one YouTube video for me in 2024 into 2025 was Walnut Grove Wands. Watch it. Walnut Grove Wands. I think it's really sad. I think the community is genuinely shocked. Here's the sad thing, okay? This to me was another Amy Winehouse situation. Like, in the way that, like, it could have been stopped. Amy Winehouse could have been, gone to rehab, but no. She just refused to listen to anyone. People wanted to help her. But kind of the same thing with King Cobra. He never brushed his teeth. Chronic alcoholic. Just poor health altogether. But he did to himself. And his poor father tried helping him millions of times. But now, I'm having a flashback of that, like, Clint Saunders video, and it was just like, it hurts, man. I mean, Clint went out of his way. Like, when I, yeah, sure, he, messed around with his kids. Whose parents don't? My parents did. But Clint had a special needs child. So he went to school to work with kids with special needs to help his special needs child. When all the kids were bullying him, he went to school to tell everybody, don't bully my son. He's just trying to live a regular life. Clint has always been on the side of his son, even in the wrong. Like, it's so sad that, like, Cobra's alcoholism was so out of control that he kept missing all of his birthdays because he was too drunk to go. You know, and he, like, had to get locked up on Christmas because he was too wasted, making suicidal threats at a gas station. But, hey, alcohol. Woohoo! That's why I don't drink it anymore. But it's so sad, man. You know, and Josh had just lost, you know, friends. He lost Ozzy, he lost Walt, Rip Homeboy Scotty. Puff. Man. You never realize how much you miss something until it disappears. You never realize how much you miss something until it's gone. It hasn't fully hit me yet. Like I said, I cried earlier, but I was crying with Clint, but I know I'm going to be... I know I'm probably going to watch a Cobra Isms video because he had his own language that was just funny as hell. D-Thought is one of my personal favorites. I actually use that now. And Hold the Phone, Sylvester Stallone, I say on the regular. I fucking... You know, it's just... Like, he's like a lot like... I don't know if you know who Longmont Potion Castle is. He's this guy who does prank phone calls that sound like Butthole Surfers. Fucking incredible shit. But his vernacular, I adopted a lot of it. I'll catch myself saying, "Hey, what's going on up bar?" Or, "I got a whip. I'm going to kick you in the lip." We got donkeys running wild. But yeah, Cobra. All hail King Cobra. You know what? He would always do this. I'm going to do it into a bag, though, because I don't feel like cleaning out too much, but anyhow. He would always pour out some in memorial. Rest in peace, King Cobra. Fuck the trolls. Fuck sickos. Tactile soap will get you laid. I don't want to get all I don't want to talk about gender relations right now. But Warlord's coming over. Man. The characters that Casper, Wyoming has given me is so freaking entertaining. Thank you. Thank you, Clint Saunders, for creating Joshua Faye Saunders. Thank you, Joshua Faye Saunders, for doing what you did so I could be introduced to you and your father and all those crazy nutbags you hung out with. Oh my god. I'm trying to think who is my favorite. I think Cool Taste cracked me up because he's this kid. He's got multiple sclerosis. He's blind. And he got more pussy than King Cobra. And King Cobra was using tactical soap. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And he's been like, Cool Taste is like getting like, you know, Warlord's old poon. Like, I don't know how Cool Taste does it, but man, Cool Taste is big pimping. But yeah, but it's just. Never realized how much you miss something until it's gone. Excuse me. Rock over London, rock on Chicago. All hail King Cobra's magic. Circle of protection for him in hell. He's with Satan. That's what he would have wanted. He's hanging out with Ozzy. Fuck the trolls. Love you, Cobes. Clint, if you need a hug, man. If you ever want to come out to Hollywood, just hang. Shit. Fuck. Skippy Simon. Stay awesome.